A vegetarian athlete is an athlete that does not eat meat or fish. Depending on their diet, dairy may or may not be included. Although there are many different kinds of vegetarian, the three most common types used by athletes are vegan, lacto-vegetarians, or lacto-ovo-vegetarians. A vegan does not eat meat, poultry, fish, eggs, or dairy products. A lacto-vegetarian does not eat meat, poultry, fish, or eggs. However, dairy is permitted. Lacto-ovo-vegetarians do not eat meat or fish or poultry, but eggs and dairy are allowed. The ADA states that well-balanced vegetarian diets can meet all recommended daily requirements of all nutrients, and a vegetarian diet is appropriate for all life stages, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and even for athletes. An effective vegetarian diet has external factors to consider, such as physical activities and partaking in harmful practices such as drugs and alcohol consumption. The biggest concern with a vegetarian diet is the low iron due to not eating meat products. However, an athlete or an individual doing a vegetarian diet can supplement iron with a dietary supplement or having a variety of foods in their diet. For example, leafy green vegetables are very high in iron. A vegetarian diet has been shown effective in many studies to be helpful in reducing BMI in both male and female individuals. Athletes have a higher energy need because of the increased demands of physical activity. Energy needs range from 2,000 to 6,000 kcals a day or more depending on the athlete's body size, body composition, sex, training program, and type of intensity of the sport that they perform. There are several ways to increase the energy intake of vegetarian athletes. The athlete can eat more frequent meals, snacks, and include meat alternatives such as tofu, or they can have dried fruit, fruit juices, honey and jams, avocados, nuts, nut butters, and seeds in their diet. Coaches and trainers are encouraged to periodically monitor the weight of a vegetarian athlete to ensure that energy needs are being met, especially if lean body mass is favored in their sport. To avoid GI discomfort for new vegetarian athletes, the athlete should start with low-fiber foods and gradually increase to higher fiber foods. Another concern of a vegetarian diet in athletes is the inadequate protein intake because they are not consuming meat or fish. However, the recommended daily allowance of protein is not increased based on people that exercise regularly. A vegetarian diet can supply all of the essential and non-essential amino acids from plant foods alone, as long as the individual intakes a variety of these foods and are consumed over the course of the day. There has been no significant differences shown in a vegetarian athlete versus a non-vegetarian athlete when comparing their cardiorespiratory endurance. A study showed that an athlete who was non-vegetarian for 6 weeks and then went to a 6-week vegetarian diet did not have a significant change in their VO2 max. In addition, vegetarian athletes do not experience significantly different strength, power, or hypertrophy compared to non-vegetarian athletes. Another common diet among athletes is a gluten-free diet.
Gluten is a protein that is found in wheat and other grains such as barley and spelt. Gluten has an elastic and glue-like capacity that makes grains produce a chewy texture. Commonly consumed gluten-containing products include pasta, breads, pastries, croutons, and cereals.
Although many people choose to have a gluten-free diet, people with celiac disease do not have the same choice.
Celiac disease is not a food allergy. It is an autoimmune disorder in which the small intestine is hypersensitive to gluten. It is thought to affect about 1% of the population. Many gluten-free products are not enriched in vitamins and minerals as they are conventional products. People on gluten-free diets may be at risk for micronutrient deficiencies. Because of this, athletes and training individuals may need to consider taking vitamin and mineral supplements. Although gluten-free flours are naturally nutrient-dense, many athletes are turning to the gluten-free diet to reduce gastrointestinal symptoms. Gluten-free is also thought to reduce inflammation and improve performance. They may improve their nutrient intake by switching to a gluten-free diet, or they may lose weight, which will help them perform better. Therefore, a gluten-free diet will naturally improve their performance. Many gluten-free products are energy-dense but not necessarily nutrient-dense, so athletes need to be careful and monitor their diet in order to know what nutrients they need or are sufficient in.
All individuals need to be aware of their individual diets because diets are a very important part of being healthy. Vegetarian and gluten-free diets have special considerations because they cannot consume many of the common foods that are rich in nutrients.
Athletes need to monitor their diet to an even higher extent because they need sufficient energy and nutrient intake in order to effectively participate in physical activity.